you all, I'm BlaqueWitchYaya. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I'm very excited to do this video because I feel like a big lesson is going to be taken away from this story. So thank you specifically to American FYE Chief who suggested this story, and I feel like it's perfect to share with you guys because one, I know my views are from all over. Let me know down below where y'all are from. I know I have people in the South, I have people in New York, California, Dakota, Wyoming, like just all over. And I know in certain areas you guys may not have access to spiritual shops like a botanica, a place you could get some crystals, a place you could go to get a good tarot reading. You guys may not have a local witch lady around the corner that you could get your spell work done from. So I wanted to share this story with you guys just because it is very imperative when traveling to get work done, getting work done online. You know, you have to watch out for scammers. You know, you have to watch out for people who are going to take advantage of you. You really need to do your research before you put yourselves in certain situations with getting spiritual help, because when you're getting spiritual help, no matter what it is, spell work, tarot card readings, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. So you want to make sure you're in a safe environment and with a safe person to execute the work flawlessly. Today, we are going to talk about 20-year-old Lucille Hamilton, who's a transgender woman of Little Rock, Arkansas, and she is from Arkansas, so we can guess that she does not have too many spiritual shops in her area. So she decided to travel to a home in Gloucester Township. Please excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that, but in Gloucester Township to participate in a religious cleansing ceremony. So this home was on the 400 block of Loch Lomond Road. It's owned by a man who claims to be a Haitian voodoo priest. Lucy, this was not a decision she just decided to make randomly. She actually saved for this ceremony. She really wanted it. She felt like she needed it. She took on 2 jobs, worked overtime to raise transportation fee, which was like for a plane ride, it was like over $1,500. She really prepared herself for this and really set aside money and time to make sure she can get this done. Now, this ceremony that Lucy was preparing for would be conducted by a man who calls himself Hing Hector, but we will be calling him Hector throughout this story. Hector describes himself on his website as a voodoo priest whose aunt and grandmother nourished his spiritual growth. His website also states that he was initiated into voodoo in Haiti, where he actually lived and learned about the religion from native priests. The site details about a dozen religious services that he offers, from cleansings, readings, spell work, all of the above. So of course, with all of this work going on in his home, the neighbors were nosy. I would be nosy too. Neighbors said that the home was a flocking point almost every weekend for those seeking rituals from all over the country. Some neighbors report strange smells, strange sounds coming from the home, and some even say they seen spirits floating around the home when these ceremonies were going on. One neighbor states, rattles, chants, like all different stuff. You could smell the incense, the candles through the walls. So a lot of neighbors really got intrigued. 2 years prior to this event, this story takes place in 2009. So in 2007, there was actually a fire that took place right next door to Hector's home. So after the fire was cleaned up, you could see a little bit of the residue that was left in the ashes. And you know, kids playing around, playing in dirt. In that area, they ended up finding chicken legs, chicken heads, all types of chicken and bones where they couldn't place what animal it comes from. So this what really made neighbors even more intrigued. Like, okay, you have all these people coming in and out of your house. Now we see all these random animal bones laying around from the fire. What exactly are you doing? So let's talk about what exactly is Lucy going to Hector for. So the ceremony that Lucy is in the process of saving up for, which will be in total $621, is a ceremony called La Vete. La Vete. Y'all, that is me trying my best to pronounce it. I believe it's a Creole word. So if I have any Zoes that watch me, please don't be offended. I am country and I stutter. So my pronunciation of some things is crazy. So La Vete. The La Vete is the cleansing, fortifying, and finally baptism of one's head. The head being the seat of the soul for an individual, which serves as a vessel for the all-important Metet and the other spirits that walk with an individual. On Hector's website, the ceremony is described as a 3-day process, which in this case lasting from Friday, July 10, 2009 to Sunday, July 12, 2009. The cleaning typically consists of washing the participant's head with water and a mixture of herbs. The site also stated that participants also have to lie down in an altar room where the spirits are revealed to them. This ceremony is known to be fairly common in Haitian voodoo, and Hector also mentions on his website that he is accepting of members of the LGBTQ+ community, which is important to mention because we know that sometimes within all religion, well, not all, within some religions and some spiritual practices, there is a sense of homophobia where priest or whoever's in charge does not want to work with members of the LGBTQ plus community. So Hector made sure that he let his clients know, hey, I'm open to it. You won't be discriminated against. You're welcome here. So of course, Lucy, being a transgender woman, felt even more comfortable going here because she felt accepted. And she felt that this was necessary for her next journey in life. She was preparing to attend college in the fall. She wanted some guidance for all the new opportunities she had coming. And she just wanted to step in with the heads up and the insight for what she had in store. She was excited for this opportunity. However, her mother wasn't. And I feel that's also is common when you guys are going into spiritual practices and getting different things done. You may have some family members that side eye you like, who are you going to for a reading? Girl, don't do that. And she also had a fear because she knows that her daughter is transgender. So she doesn't want anyone to have any malintention when it comes to her daughter. She states, I was just afraid for her being out there so far away from me that I couldn't help her. She's my only child. Lucy's mother grew even more concerned because during this ceremony, she was not allowed to take a cell phone, a laptop, or have any type of communication with her family while she was gone. And sadly, her fear grew to become reality because the no communication would continue. When other participants noticed that Lucy wasn't being responsive, they tried to give her CPR, they called 911, but Lucy could not be resuscitated. The Camden County Prosecutor's Office said that Hamilton's death had been accidental, resulting from the combined effects of physical exhaustion, ambient room temperature, and an oxygen-depleted atmosphere. Like I mentioned before, a part of the ceremony was to be held in a altar room, so we can suspect that so many people in that room, lack of oxygen, hot temperatures, it all led to the death of Lucy. The only substance that was found in Lucy's system was cinnamon. And we can also suspect that cinnamon was one of the herbs that I mentioned earlier that would be used to cleanse her head. Maybe they had to ingest some cinnamon. We know cinnamon is used for cleaning, prosperity, so I'm not sure if they had to digest the cinnamon or what exactly took place, but they couldn't see anything. There was nothing that jumped out to the prosecutor, and according to the toxicology test, they couldn't see anything. There was nothing that jumped out to them. It was just bizarre, and they wish they could have had something that was a little bit more conclusive. There were no drugs found in her system, and with all of this, Hamilton's death was never seen suspicious by authorities, and Hector, the voodoo priest who performed the ceremony, was never charged or even named as a suspect in the case. One of the investigators said that she does not think Hector was directly responsible. Authorities said maybe it was a combination of exhaustion and not eating and too many people in a small space, too much carbon dioxide and ventilation, and too many candles. Lucy's mother does not feel that Hector is directly responsible for her daughter's death, but she does believe that he created a dangerous environment in his home. She states, I just think he was young, stupid, and negligent. Lucy and 6 other participants had traveled from as far as Canada and the Netherlands to take part of Hector's ceremony. Until July 10th, Hector told 911 operators that Lucy had taken a nap and was unresponsive when he tried to wake her up. Now, I'm not sure was this actually a nap or her slowly passing out and they thought she was sleeping. So Hector did not return any type of phone calls or emails from the media trying to interview him. In one interview, he did express remorse for Lucy's death, but was confident he would be cleared of any wrongdoing. The interviewer asked Hector why did he think that Lucy died, and he simply stated, that's God's choice. So since Lucy's death, her mother found herself going in a rabbit hole trying to figure out this actual spiritual belief and why did she trust Hector so much and traveled so far and paid so much for his services. She's been surprised by the conviction of Hector's worldwide supporters and saddened that her daughter is never mentioned on his extensive site. Lucy's mother states, I want people to know that someone died under his care. I don't want him to ever be able to get away with this. So now these are all the details that we have on this case. I'm trying to do these stories a little bit differently where I tell the story straight through, then I give my opinion at the end because I know some people are here just for the story. So for me, one thing I am concerned about, I hope no harm was done to her on purpose just because she was transgender, just because I've heard many stories of people just, let me not curse, but people just being very mean to transgender individuals unprovoked. So I'm hoping that wasn't it, because I'm thinking out of all the people that was there, only she died. But it just concerns me that everyone else was able to go into the hospital, get cleared, and then only one person died, and it was the transgender person. Also, I want people to know, if you're ever in a situation where you are getting a cleansing done, if you start to feel dizzy, chest pain, any type of physical pain, make sure you say something. Don't be scared that you're going to ruin the moment, because your health does come first. Because it may not be a spiritual attack. You may simply be reacting because there's a lack of oxygen in the room, or you're inhaling too much smoke, too much incense. If you have asthma, be careful of that. Like, make sure you are putting your health first, and make sure you state when you're feeling uncomfortable or you just have any weird feeling. Don't think, oh, this must be spirit, this must be spirit. No, this could be a heart attack. So just make sure you're being very cautious of how you feel in those type of situations. Also, if you can, bring someone with you. If you're going to a new place in a new state, try to bring a friend with you, a relative, a sibling, just so you have an extra pair of eyes looking out for you. Because in the spiritual community, you have people who take advantage of the so-called power or knowledge that they have. Well, they'll try to harm you physically, take advantage of you, rob you, especially with women. There are cases where actual assault goes on. So try not to go by yourself if you can. Or if you go by yourself, keep a little, stand your ground, I'll say. But you guys let me know down below, what do you believe happened in this case? Do you feel that Hector should have more accountability on his end and done some type of time? But you guys let me know what you think about this case down below. And as I always say, as above, so below, as within, so without, as universal the soul. Until next time, you guys, I'm Shay.